It says it's sending us to Facebook right now. And there's no echo tonight, so that's good.
Sounds great.
Good. Okay. Are you guys, does it say live for you yet, or is it still giving us a delay here?
It shows live on Facebook for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna jump over to my page really quick and see if I can pull this up just to make sure. Okay, here we are. We're good. All right, everyone. So if you are jumping on with us, I'm gonna try to do a double screen here so I can read comments. And so I'm gonna mute myself also. Hang on. Give me just a second and we're gonna get this going. So if you're joining us as you are jumping on, go ahead and comment. Let us know you're here. Hey, Terry. So I'm gonna scoot this over and hopefully be able to see your comments here. And I'm gonna are jumping on, go ahead and comment. Let us know you're here. Hey, Terry. Okay, so there are 4 of us on here. Are you guys getting any feedback from me?
As far as echoing or anything like that?
Right.
No.
Is it too quiet?
No, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, I am gonna, what it's doing on here is, I'm gonna turn this back up so I can hear you guys. It's not gonna let me, I'm gonna have to pull it up on my phone because it's not gonna let me view it and look for comments at the same time. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and this is already going better than last night. So if you're just now joining us, these are some of my inner tribe members. So they're in the Social Easel Online Paint Studio, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Becky Walker, did you join in June?
Yes.
Okay, you joined in June. Becky Davis joined in April.
Right from the very get-go.
Right from the very beginning. Rosette, the same with you, right? Are you kid-free?
Not really, but yes, for now, they're all in the bedroom changing.
Okay. And Becky Walker, the one in the top corner, she's new. I didn't know her before she came into the group, and Becky and Rosette are here locally with me in Springfield. So it's just neat because we're spread out all over the United States, and we even have Deborah who's up in Canada. So it's just been really cool to get to have everyone meet each other online through comments and stuff. And now they're gonna share their stories with you guys too. So I will go ahead and pass it over to Becky Walker if you don't mind.
No, that's fine. Hello. I am in Oklahoma, right in the middle of Oklahoma, and I had no idea that I wanted to paint, but I did want to make door hangers. And so I found door hangers online, and I found Tamara Bennett.
She's one of my friends.
And she had Chris Dion as a guest in her clubhouse painting hydrangeas. And from that second, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And I had not run across the Social Easel before.
Oh, very cool.
It was brand new to me. And I've always done crafting things, but I have never painted or drawn. I've never had any kind of art classes whatsoever. And I've really kind of amazed myself that I've been able to do what I've been able to do.
I assumed that you did have background because you're
none whatsoever. No, as a matter of fact, when I showed my husband the Eiffel Tower one that you did, he looked at me and he said, "Good luck on that one." And I shocked him.
Yeah, did he use words?
He was just really surprised. And so I made a liar out of him, but no, it has been so much fun, and it's so interesting to watch these come to life from a flat canvas, and I'd never painted on a canvas before, and I bought a pack of 5, and I have just been having a blast, and I plan on keeping on doing it. After you had your sale, Christy,
Yeah.
and I saw all of the different paintings, I told you I was going to have to be on here for 500 months to do everything I wanted to do.
And then I'll just keep coming up with more. So you're stuck with me for a while.
You're stuck with me too. No, I have just thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hear that we have a man with us now.
We do. William joined our group yesterday.
We'll have to watch our lady talk from now on.
Well, that is so awesome. I love your story. I don't think I knew it fully. I knew that you had painted with Tamara and done door hangers, but I had definitely, and then when I saw artwork that you had posted in the group, I assumed that you had already been painting.
No, and I'll tell you what, I'm doing better on my paintings than I am on my door hangers.
Well, you'll carry it over there too, but you are doing awesome. So that is super exciting.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So you never painted on canvas before this class?
I never painted, period. I mean, I've done stenciling stuff and that sort, but never painted. So no, this is all brand new to me. And now I own every brush there is and every color there is.
It's fun, isn't it? It gets a little addictive after a while.
Well, it's only 50 cents a bottle.
That's what I say. You can buy one in every color because
that's right.
And we use like just a little bit of each color, so they actually last you quite a while.
Well, I've enjoyed it, and I plan on keeping on. So well, thank you so much. I love your style, and you make it so easy, and you're so encouraging.
Well, thank you very much. Hey, do you have any of your artwork close by that you can show them?
No, I forgot. I was going to bring something in, but I forgot to.
That's okay. That's okay. Maybe when one of the other girls is talking, if it's close, you can grab it. Because I want you guys to see her Eiffel Tower painting is so pretty. So she did a really good job on that one.
I'll run get it when somebody else is up.
Okay. Well, we'll switch over to, let me hang on real quick. William, I'm going to check over with him. I don't know if he wants me to add him to panelist or not. I'll ask him in a second. Becky Davis.
Yes.
Would you like to share?
Sure. Well, I guess it's now been probably 7 months since I've started with you. I've lost track. I don't know. It's been a while. But I am thoroughly enjoying it. When I first started, you had been doing a private party through Ridge Crest Baptist Church. And it was the poppies, the red poppies. And that was one of my grandma's favorite flowers. And that was what intrigued me to go ahead and try it. And then it wasn't until later on in Facebook world that I saw that you were offering classes through the Pitch Pizza and Pub. And so then I started coming to the local classes. And then in April, you launched the online studio. And I thought, oh, this would be ideal because sometimes I can't come to the local classes and it just would work better to be able to paint whenever and however I wanted to, whether I wanted to wear my pajamas or,
which we all know I love to.
I know. And so from the very beginning, it has been my thought was that I would have a 10-year plan where I could paint towards retirement and then have a supplemental income to be able to fall back on. And it's just kind of branched from there. I had a high school classmate that inquired about a painting from one of the local paint nights, and it was the Enjoy the Journey little pickup truck with the flowers in the back. And he asked me if it was for sale, and I said, well, I guess so. And he said, could I get that? And I said, well, if you really want it, but I was just kind of beside myself because I didn't know how to go about all of this. And so 11 o'clock at night, I'm texting Christy, asking her, what do I do? And she says, sell it, paint another one. And so that's exactly what I did. And since then, I've sold 7 more. And it's just been kind of a whirlwind. I have been just inundated with people inquiring, and it's all just been by word of mouth. I've had people comment from what I post from a local paint night, or just from the online class. If I have done a project or something, then I'll post it on Facebook and just kind of get people's opinions of it, not even expecting them to say, I want that. And it's just kind of blossomed from there. My husband would like for me to go into this full time now and just quit my job so that he can retire, but I am not at that point.
Hey, but that's awesome to already support of your husband saying no.
He's very supportive of me, and that's just been a blessing. I'm really thankful that he doesn't mind. I have to apologize that if I even begin to turn my camera around and you see the clutter, my dining room area has become my art studio, and I have paintings all around me, and I've got my paints and my brushes, and it's just a royal mess, and housekeeping has gone out the window. It's just not something that's really even done anymore. It's kind of hard, it's frustrating when you want to paint and you can't paint because you work another job, and it's just hard. And
so I will tell you, so my business coach and I haven't heeded her advice yet, but I'm getting to the point where I have to, because you can see this mess behind me here.
Yeah.
So whenever I decide to paint again, I basically just do this and I move all my stuff out of the way so I can get another canvas up there. But you can look at it this way. So if you sold 7 paintings so far, so you can take the sale of one of those paintings and probably pay a housekeeper to come in a couple times a month and do all that cleaning for you, so you keep painting and keep selling more paintings.
There you go. I think that might be something I'll have to keep on in the back of my mind.
That's my goal.
My goal is, if it's going to rain this weekend, I'm going to paint. So hopefully I can get some of that in. But I've got several projects in the works. I still haven't completed the sunflowers. I've got it started over here.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the start of my sunflowers.
And the background looks awesome. So if you guys are looking back here at mine, she's painting this one back here. So she's got her background done, and then she's still got her sunflowers to add to it. But that's even showing us that is a good thing to bring up, because that's what makes this so great, is you didn't have to finish that whole thing at one time. You were able to get your background done and then leave it, and you can come back and finish it whenever you want to. So, and when you're working with acrylic paint, you're able to do that and then jump back in later and not have to worry about trying to get it all done in one session. So I think for a lot of you, the convenience of being able to stop and rewind and all that kind of stuff has been really helpful.
It does make a big difference when you don't feel like you've got to get it finished in that 2-hour time frame when we are at the pitch, because there have been those moments when I have felt like, oh, I need a little more time to work on it, but then I think I'm going to just take it home, and if I want to work on it, I'll do it there. I know that others have just kind of dabbled and lingered, and we're trying to get out of the class at a certain time frame, and I don't want to be one of those that just lag behind. But,
I think but it's good, because what I realized I love so much about teaching online that I didn't expect at all. Well, really all of it. I mean, I had no idea as your teacher what to expect out of all of this either, but so just so you guys kind of know how this works, I'll set my camera up over there and they have an aerial view, and I talk to them. We usually do it live in my group unless there's a reason I can't. So I get to talk to them while I'm painting, and they get to follow along while I'm painting. And so that's fun. But I have found, as your teacher also, I am able to allow you guys to do harder things, or something that's a little bit more advanced or time consuming, because I don't have to worry about, okay, we got to get this painting done in an hour and a half because they close and I got to get all these people out of here. So it has allowed me to really push myself as an artist and push you guys as an artist, because we're not on a time frame anymore. So I love that part of it as well.
This is the one that we did. It's the trees that was done with the palette knife.
Yeah.
And that was one of the ones that we did. One of the first paintings, I guess, that I really stepped out of my comfort zone and decided that I was going to do it. And I put gel medium with that. And that's the fun thing about the online class, is that you get to take the time to show us techniques that we aren't able to really address in the local class.
Right.
And it's fun because if you make a mess on the floor, you can clean it up yourself. You don't have to worry about a ton of other people. And it's just fun to be able to experiment and see how things are going to look. So
yeah,
my husband, he liked it better when I didn't put the leaves on the trees and that I just had just the tree trunks by themselves.
Oh yeah.
And so in my multimedia pad, I just did the tree trunks by themselves. And he likes that a lot better, but I still put the other one up on the wall because I had done it on an 11 by 14 canvas. So.
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, they're both fun. You know, it does, we kind of did that one in 2 stages and to let that background dry first, but it is just kind of a very, very abstract, something very different from a lot of what I do, but fun to just teach you guys the palette knife techniques and kind of play with it. So
I'm thoroughly enjoying you and I am sticking with you. You're stuck with me forever.
I will keep
in a blast.
Well, I'm glad. And remind me, before you came to paint with me at the local paint nights, did you have painting experience prior to this?
I had only painted one canvas painting in 7th grade art. And that was the only thing that I had done on canvas. Now, back in the early 80s, do you remember when toll painting was the thing? I did a lot of that back when my kids were very little, and but it was more seasonal type things, you know, the cutouts for the pilgrims at Thanksgiving or Halloween, little ghosts and goblins and things like that, but never anything on canvas. And this is stretching my comfort zone a lot because I had never painted on canvas other than that one painting in art class back in 7th grade. So that was a cruise age ago.
Awesome now, already sold 7. What, like 3 months into the group instead of 10 years.
Yeah, I have a lot to learn, but I am thoroughly enjoying it. And, you know, if there was a way to, you know, be able to be 2 people at once where I could paint and then still go to work, then until I get things down better, I would be I'd be in heaven, you know, just being able to paint all the time.
I know. Well, today I had to, because you guys know, I mean, like just getting ready for opening the group up again, I've had a lot of technical stuff I've had to do, a lot of computer work, and that just makes me super depressed and it's not fun, and I want to be painting. And so yesterday I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a live while I'm painting because I really need to paint right now. And that's when I started that pumpkin painting. And then, you know, when I went off the live and I was able to just like finish it on my own and play with it, I was like, man, I needed to do that because it's just such a stress reliever. And for once, I guess technically I'm working, but really I'm not. I mean, I'm painting because I love it. And then I get to share it with you guys. And it was just so, I don't think I realized how bad I needed to do that. So I'm going to do another one tomorrow.
It's therapeutic.
It is for sure.
That is like my go-to place is if I can come home and paint. And it's amazing. I'll show you one more before you give the floor over to somebody else. But I painted this one. It's the sorry, didn't mean to get such a close-up of my face. This is the cotton balls in the mason jar that I painted for a friend. Her birthday's coming up in October. And what's significant about this one is that her daddy's nickname was Cotton. And, so this has special meaning for her. She already knows what it looks like. I couldn't hold it as a surprise for her. So I just decided that was what was going to be given to her as a birthday gift. And immediately immediately when that was shown, I thought, okay, that's going to be for her. So
And you did so good on that. Your mason jar is
thank
awesome.
you.
I mean,
Thank
all
you.
of it's awesome, but I'm always drawn to the jars. The jars.
I love the jars. There's something about them that I get, you know, the cone flowers are my nemesis, but the jars, I don't have a problem with the jars.
Mhm.
They seem to just kind of come to life, you know, as the paintbrush is doing the work with the paint. And if I get my mind out of the way, then I can just kind of let it flow and it does fine.
Yeah,
And the
absolutely.
raffia, the curls on the raffia are getting easier as I work with it. So I think maybe I can attempt one of those funky looking trees that you have for Halloween.
Yeah, we'll be doing that one Friday. So that's,
Okay.
yeah, well, that's only 2 days away. So hopefully
I
it'll
know.
rain this weekend and you can try out your curly tree too.
There you go.
So, okay, Rosette, are you ready for us? Hold on, I'm gonna unmute your audio. Well, there we go. Okay.
Okay, I think I did it myself. So I have like a 5-minute window, but they promised that they would be quiet if they came in here and sat. They just wanted to be part of the thing. But ultimately, I've been painting with Christy. I've done 2 paintings with her at the pub. And then when she introduced the online class, I was like, that's for me. I mean, it gives me time to, I mean, clearly I have 2 children, so it's hard to even get away from them. So it gives me time to be able to do it on my own.
Right.
And then it turned into where I was actually doing Christie's paintings with them and childing it down so that they can understand it. One of the ones that I was going to show is the Tuscan landscape. That was one of the very first ones
Yeah.
that we did. And I did it with Addie and myself. And, oh, she's actually going to be
Is
helpful.
Addie gonna get it?
Yeah. So the first one is mine, and then the second one she's going to show you is hers. I think her flowers turned out way better than mine. I mean, I think she did an amazing job on her flowers. But
Addie, you've done really good on all your paintings. I see them all. You're doing a really good job.
So that's it kind of turned into a family thing. Yeah.
So have Addie hold up is that hers that she's got in her hands there?
Okay, the one that she has is mine.
Very nice.
And then hers is, here comes hers.
That is so impressive.
Yeah, that was the first time that we did it together here at the house. No, well, we're not going to show the dragonflies. We just finished the dragonflies.
Yes. Yeah, you guys did that one together too.
Yeah, all 3 of us did that one together. So like it just came into an opportunity for us telling Christy I hadn't drawn. I drew when I was younger in high school. One more and you're gonna have to go to timeout. You said you promised you'll be quiet. I've drawn in high school and I copied art. So I would like look at a picture and then transfer it and change it myself. So, but I stopped doing that in my 20s, just not enough time or whatever. Since I've done the online classes, I've actually started picking that back up again, but no longer looking at other people's art and drawing it. I've been like drawing my own art.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's really has brought the artist back out in me that I really wanted to cultivate this and continue to paint and stuff like that. I've never painted, but now I find I love to paint.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I only drew pencil art. That's all I've ever drawn was pencil art. So painting, I find it amazing. It's very relaxing. Even when trying to teach it to the children, sometimes it gets frustrating when they get, I call it, they get heavy-handed. They just want to keep going and going and going. And
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I love this class, and I love the people in the class. They're so encouraging, and I mean, when you're done with a painting and you're like, I don't know, I don't really like it. It's neat to see the perspectives of others and what they tell you. So my time might be running out with this little one.
Thank you for getting on. But
Yes.
I agree with you completely about the online group part of it. And you guys have heard me talk about it. Sorry, there's some gnat in my face. You guys have heard me talk about it a lot, but you know, I think that is a huge part of this group, is this community that we have. And this is just 3 of our members, but you've got a whole private group of all these cheerleaders just waiting to see what people are posting and telling them what they like about it. And it's so different than painting on your own. I mean, coming from someone who's painted for as long as I have, thinking back to college, and you're there by yourself, and then you just had to take your piece of art that you of course were criticizing, and then you had no feedback, and you had to take it right up and slap it on a wall for critique. And it just gave you, I mean, critique day was like just pure anxiety for me. So it's nice to have, we're not critiquing. It's nice to be able to put your art up in a kind and loving environment where you have a bunch of people cheering you on. And you know, none of us are, you know, experts. Everyone is learning. And so it's cool that you guys are helping each other learn too. And I think that happens a lot when someone will post something and they'll kind of take it a different route than what I did. And then someone else will say, oh, I never even thought of doing that. So then it's all, art inspires art. So whether you guys are taking mine as a base and then building from that, it just keeps building from there, and someone will see something different. Maybe they want to add this instead. We had Debbie, who's not on here. She, so I did the Paris painting. Becky, do you have that one? Becky Walker, you want to hold up your Paris painting?
Sure.
So we did this one, and Debbie said, well, I don't want to do the Eiffel Tower. I want to do Brooklyn Bridge. And I said, well, I got to look up a picture for that. Well, she went and did it on her own and posted it this week, and it was awesome. So again, just really cool. She took the base of my painting, and then she wanted it to be Brooklyn Bridge instead. So, but this is Becky's Eiffel Tower. Yes. And it's so good. She did such a good job on it. So I just wanted her to show that, because, and especially because her husband was like, yeah, right. Good luck with that one. And it turned out so good. So very proud of you guys and how much you've grown just in the few short months that we've been in here. So it's really exciting to think about continuing, you know, like every time you paint and every technique that you do, you're just building on all that previous knowledge. So it's exciting. All right. Do you guys have anything else to say before we jump off of here? Becky?
One thing I wanted to add, that I don't know how many people saw. I don't know if any posts got seen on Sunday night or not. I couldn't tell if anybody was actually seeing what I was posting, but you know how you were talking about when we show our art, the one thing that I really love is that you will offer any tips or suggestions personally, individually, for us to improve upon when we do post our art on the online group. It is good critiquing, I would say. It's going to help us grow. It's going to help us to know that your perspective is different from ours, and it might show depth, it might show a little more dimension than what we had, and it helps us to learn from our first paintings, or you know, whatever we're working on. That's the part that I love, and I didn't know if anybody had seen that. I had posted it, but I don't think that my posts were being seen Sunday night. So
I'll have to go back and look. What was what picture?
It was right after you guys had started on the online group, and it was welcoming everybody in there. And I think you were live, but I don't think that I was actually able to be seen. I don't know how it was going. I could have been having technical problems with my phone or something. But I just thought I wanted to just emphasize that you're not only giving us the option of seeing what artwork you're doing, but you're also giving your input on what we're posting and helping us to grow along the way, which is nice. I love that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and that's my goal, is just to help you guys in any way that I can. And I don't ever want to be a critical teacher.
No.
But yeah, if
I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way.
No, I didn't take that you did, but I hope that helps. I hope when I tell you guys just those little things that it does maybe make something click or help you see something
right
differently also.
Yes.
All right, just making sure we don't have any other questions. So those of you that have stuck on here with us, or maybe you're going to see this on the replay, this is just a few of our members just wanted to come on and share their story. So if you are interested in the group, we only open a few times a year. So at this point, I do not plan on opening the group again until spring of 2019. So that's several months away. So if you're debating on this and you know you want to do this, you have until Thursday at midnight, and then we close the group again. So it's $47 a month, or you can do the annual plan of $470 for an entire year. And for that, you get 2 new paintings each month. So like this pumpkin one, always opposite, that pumpkin one back there. That is going to be in October along with our Halloween cats. So just to kind of give you a sneak peek of what's coming in the group in October. Tomorrow we're doing, Friday, we're doing a folk art tree that you can make either Halloween or just make it to any season that you want. But you get 2 full paintings per month. You guys get a technique video, which is me showing you something very in detail up close. Like I did a technique video showing them how to do those little people that were walking to the Eiffel Tower. Becky, you want to tell them about your people?
In my Eiffel Tower painting, I was doing my little people, and you just paint like a little rectangle and then put a little head on it and drag a little leg down. And then Christy says, give him a slight bend of an elbow. Well, my brush slipped and it looked like I had a flasher because it looked like he was holding his overcoat open, and I was just horrified.
Oh my God, when she told me that, I was laughing so hard because I didn't see that at all, but that was what
I didn't either. I didn't
she saw when she looked at it.
Wait, did you see it after I pointed it out though?
I'm gonna have to go back and look now.
I don't think that I actually acknowledged that that's what it was. But
Here, I'm gonna
I got
turn it around.
She's gonna show us her flasher. Hold on, you gotta raise it up a little.
I can just hear him going, "Aww."
Oh my gosh. It was so funny. So she was telling me this story, like we were trying to do this last night and technology wasn't our friend. And she was telling me this story before we went on live. And I was like, what? When did this happen? When did you go to Paris? Someone flashed you while you were walking on the Eiffel Tower? She was like, no, in my painting. Oh, okay. But anyway, so you can tell we have a lot of fun in this group, and it's nice to get to share the funny stuff along with the learning stuff.
Well, Christy, one more thing. You're
Yeah.
never too young to start painting, and you're never too old. I just had my 70th birthday this year.
Oh,
So yeah.
Awesome.
And I keep telling my kids I'm not giving any of my paintings away. They can fight over them after I'm gone.
That is really, really cool though. And thank you for sharing that, because who would think when you're 70 that you're just going to pick up a brand new hobby, right?
Absolutely. My family is flabbergasted.
Well, I think that's awesome. And it's just going to keep you younger, and it's going to relax you. So, I mean, it's so good for you. There's tons of studies that talk about how good painting is for you, especially the older that we get, because it keeps your mind sharp.
Well, I'm retired and I have the time, and now I have the money, so I can do it.
Well, that's awesome and very exciting to hear. So,
well, Becky, if you get somebody that asks you if they can buy it, sell it and paint another one.
Well, I will do that. I will, if anybody offers.
just think if you sell them, then you can just buy more stuff to paint more.
I know.
if you're like, I walk in Hobby Lobby or Michael's and it's like a kid in a candy store and I just want to take a little of everything. I think I could own
I
about
know.
brushes and still find a new one that I'm like, well, that one's a different size. But I don't know how we jumped from, I don't remember what we were talking about that we went to the flasher in Paris, but somehow we jumped from technique to that. Oh, that's what it was. I was talking about showing you guys the technique for the little people. So you get 2 full paintings with me a month. All the ones you see behind you in my crazy office, those are all included. But you get 2 new ones every month. You get a technique video every month, like the flashers. You also get a live Q&A with me at the end of every month, which we do inside our group. You can be there live with me and just ask me questions back and forth, or you can submit questions prior to the live Q&A. And that way, if you can't be there when I do it, they're still going to be answered for you. And then you can go back and watch the live Q&A later. And that is a library that stays in the group. So I had some people, that's your monthly content. You get that each and every single month. And I've had several questions over the last couple of days because people have seen some of our previous stuff. And they said, well, how far back does it go? How much do we get? You get it all. Every single thing I've done with these ladies for the past several months, you get every bit of it. So it is all on our Facebook group. And then we have an amazing new website where she has it organized for us, where they're still going to be uploaded, but you'll have a section for live Q&As. All your technique videos are in one spot. All your full painting tutorials are in one spot, and they're organized by month. Everything has a supply list and a color list that goes with it, so you know exactly what you need. You can get it ahead of time. So I try to make everything as streamlined and as easy as possible for you guys when you come into the group. So again, if you've never painted before, that you're not overwhelmed. That's the last thing I want for anyone, is to come in overwhelmed, that you feel like you can just get your beginning supplies and jump right into painting. And that is my goal. And to get, most of all, to get everyone past that point of, I'm not creative, I can't do this. Nothing makes me happier than to prove you wrong. So to have people come into my group and they think there's no way I can paint that, and then they post it and they're like, holy cow, I painted that. Like, that's the best. so that is my goal in this group. And the other thing I wanted to add, so I'm trying to think of questions people have asked me over the last couple of days debating on being in the group. So that kind of gives you a sneak peek of what is coming for October, and you get everything that we've already done. But I've had people say, well, what are we doing in November and December? Do you have those pictures done yet? And I don't, because in the group, I get feedback from my members also. So I'll post and say, like, what do you guys want next? Do we want a snowman? Do we want Santa? You know, like, do you guys prefer me to do more fall paintings in November, or do we want to jump over and start doing Christmas? So it's a very open forum of conversation, and I will, obviously majority rules, but you know, I try to keep everyone happy and bring you guys lots of fun stuff. I can tell you November and December are going to rock, just because they're my 2 favorite seasons in those months. So I'm going to do something cool. And there'll probably be some little bonuses involved in there somewhere. And then for the month of December, that will be a little different, just because it's crazy. It's holiday season. I want to be able to get you guys your Christmas paintings as soon as you can. So I am posting those the December 1st. I'm going to have them ready, and they're going to be posted. They'll be pre-recorded, but I'm doing it that way so that you will have them at the beginning of December. And then if you really want those Christmas paintings up for this season, it gives you plenty of time to paint them and get them on your walls so you can enjoy them for Christmas. So that gives you a little bit of what we have coming up. I'm going to make sure we don't have any other questions here. So if you guys have any questions, if you're watching us live, let me know. It's got a little bit of a delay, but you can ask me questions here if there's something we haven't answered regarding how the group works or what you get. Can you guys think of anything else that I have forgotten to share with them about the group, or I think
you covered it all.
So yeah, if you have any questions, and you can post them below, I'll come back and check this feed for comments. You can also message me. I will bring up one other thing that a couple people have asked me. We do not have a PayPal link on the actual sign up page. If that is something that you feel is a necessity and you only want to sign up through PayPal, you can contact me personally and I can get you that link. We just can't get it on our website sign up form. So if that is a concern for some of you, you just contact me and we'll make sure and get you the PayPal link so you can sign up through that if you don't want to just put in your credit card information. So I think that's about it. I'm just glancing back over here. So I'm trying to remember what my other questions were. Do you guys want to see the pumpkin painting up close that is coming?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't have my Halloween cats in here. Ignore my outfit. I just came home from a volleyball game and jumped on this. Not me playing, me watching. I want to see me play. So you guys get a good.
That's pretty.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So I started this on the Facebook Live yesterday, and I started with just a paintbrush, and that's what I was telling you guys. And then I got off and I was like, well, I just really want to finish this painting. And I had done the whole background in palette knife, and then I decided I really think it would be cool to have the pumpkins in palette knife also. So the base of the pumpkins, the general outline was just with a paintbrush, but then I decided to do everything. This entire painting is done in palette knife, except for my words, which is done with a gold marker pen. So
Wow.
this is going to be a really fun class. I can't wait to teach this one in October. So, and if you guys want, we can even switch the weeks. I know there are some people who are antsy to get this one hung on their walls, and maybe you don't want to wait until the 3rd week of October. So if that's the case and the group says, yes, we want it earlier, I'll probably do back-to-back weeks, and we'll do week 1 is the Halloween cats, week 2 is pumpkins, and then we'll do our technique video and our live video after that and switch it up. So, and we may do the same thing in November, just because it's holidays and you guys are wanting to get these fun things on your wall as fast as you can. And maybe selling them. Or making Christmas presents. So think of all this beautiful stuff that you can make and then give it as Christmas presents too. And you'll be a pro by the time you paint it 2 or 3 times. So I'm gonna jump on here real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I have no questions. So we're gonna go ahead and jump off. Thank you guys so much for getting on with me again tonight after things didn't work out last night and we had some people switch around. So thank you guys for sharing your stories. I love y'all, and I'll see you back in the room.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.